I think what happens, and just tell me if you've done this, I can admit I've done this, that when things aren't going great, and this is in the past for me, but when things haven't been going great, people go silent. You just stop talking to other people. My mom and my sister are a prime example. Like, I help them with keto. They're, oh, we're all into keto and fasting, help us out. And I'm like, it's on my own family, of course, I'm going to help you. And so I'm telling them about keto, and I'm answering my mom's questions. So I can't have this, and I can't have this, and it's this, and it's this. Yes, mom, yes, mom. And I got it all with her. And then suddenly, ghosted. And I'm going, I know what's happening. I should have called, but I'm like, let's see how long it takes for her to call. 4 months later, Denise, I get a call from my mom. Hey, I haven't heard from you in a while. I said, yeah, you went off keto, didn't you? Like, that was the first thing out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like, I know. So I asked her what happened, and she's like, oh no, I just got tired of it. Oh, you got tired of being healthy, mom, because your knee was not hurting anymore. Like, all these little things got better in her health. But then you forget, because you want that momentary joy on the lips, but not the long-term health benefits that you know could come if you just stayed on the straight and narrow.
Yep. Some of the things I think about being a woman and having to go clothes shopping and things like that. I turned over my closet 4 years ago, and I swore I wasn't going to do that again, and I didn't. And it was really painful to look at all that stuff hanging in my closet for 4 years while I tried to figure all this stuff out again, you know. So looking at things like that for women,
yes,
I know it is just as equally difficult for men, but for women, it's really difficult.
Oh, I can imagine as a woman, because there's a lot of vanity with women. And look, let's be honest, there's a lot of vanity with guys too. Like, I want to look good. I'm trying to attract a woman. Like, that's the way of the world. But I've got a closet in there that's got clothes that I can't fit in either. Same kind of thing. And which is why you use that as motivation. Okay, I've been there not that long ago. Let's work at it. So you've been back at this since March of this year. You went off the rails basically a year, from March 2020 till this year. So how has it gone? Have you noticed anything different this time on the journey? You've had the ups and downs, which is what we're talking about here today. Thank you, by the way, for being so open about it. And again, I'm the perfect person to talk to, because I've had my issues as well. But how has it gone so far?
You know, it's been really good. And the thing that you were just talking about, where I've got to figure out how to like stay in this time, and that's going to take more work than the work I'm putting in now. That's going to be more work. So being able, you know, to stay with people and talk to them or reach out to them when I'm having a problem, that's going to be really important along this journey. And I'm going to be reaching out to you more. So
better. I would say Mary is a great one. I've got her phone number. And I'm always texting her and other people, Jessica, her cohort in crime, and different ones. So yeah, you've got good support. I feel for people like you, because I think when you've tried and you just hit a roadblock, and people don't understand. They're just like, oh, just eat the diet and get over it and be better already. And they don't understand there's many layers here that contribute to it. Now, mine involved childhood trauma and some other things in my life that I had to deal with. I asked that question earlier. Did you ever deal with anything like that? Any kind of trauma? Any kind of experiences?
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's definitely still probably some things that I need to address and get back. I've done counseling in the past, but probably getting back into that at some point and just dealing with the rest of those things that I need to deal with. Because I know I was doing a lot of emotional eating when I was off the rails, for sure.
Yes. Like, nobody purposely binge eats. This is what pisses me off. They're just like, oh, you're just a glutton. Okay, I did eat a lot of food, but let's back up. Why did I eat a lot of food? My head was being thrown into walls. I was being punched. I was being verbally abused by a father that was overbearing for 3.5 years in my teenage years. That couldn't have anything to do with it. Nah. No, that couldn't have anything to do with it, but it does. And people are like, well, just get over your path. Okay, that's all well and good. And you've seen, sought help with your issue, but like, I had a licensed therapist kind of work through a lot of things for me, and it just takes time, and it takes like this mentality of, okay, that was in my past, but it doesn't define me. And it's like, you want to prove all those people wrong that said you can't. Maybe, I don't know what your situation is, so I'm having talked in generalities, but I'm assuming it's something bad that happened to you when you're young. And so that happens to a lot of us. And if we admit those things out loud, that healing starts to begin.
Mm-hmm. It does. Yeah, but this time being able to like stay in it, that's really where I've got to put the work in. Like I've worked with Mary for about 6 months, and that's as far as I can go at this point. You know, and if I need to pick back up at some point, I'll just get right back in, you know, but working with her. And also I have a personal trainer. So I've had my personal trainer for about 1.5 years now. And like, I've seen my body go through changes that I hadn't seen before, and it's very different than it's ever been. And that's kind of where I want to continue on that path of this not just being about weight loss. Like, yes, of course I want to lose weight, but knowing that my body's going to be healthy and strong through the years I'm in, because I'm over 40. So, you know, just being able to get through all of that.
So what do you think is moving the needle this time where you've struggled maybe in the past? I mean, you've obviously been doing your fitness journey for the last 1.5 years, really tight, working on your journey. And then you cleaned up your diet. Wow, you did your fitness journey through the crappy food that you ate last year. That's interesting. How did your trainer kind of look at that and go, did they ever ask, what are you eating?
Well, she's a bodybuilder, and so she has her way of eating, which is fine, but it doesn't work for everybody. So
okay, but that wasn't my question. Did she ever ask you, wow, you're not changing body composition that much, what are you eating? Did never ask that?
Not at the time. She didn't.
Yeah,
because she's a different body type, and she can have donuts on leg day, which is fine. But not everyone can eat the same. And so I was falling for that. I let her tell me, yeah, you can have a donut on Friday. Well, that's great, because I just did an hour-long workout with you. So yes, I can have donuts.
So she was sabotaging your efforts, even if you wanted to. So how do you handle that now? Does she know you eat kind of this mostly keto carnivore diet?
She does. Yeah. And she's, you know, and she's not the diet person. She's my personal trainer. She's here to guide me.
Oh, I know. But those trainers don't know how to shut the fuck up about your diet. Because I remember I hired one down at this gym down the road here. I had been keto for a long time at that point, and I was just trying to get stronger. And so this guy, first thing he says, yeah, bro, what are you eating? I was like, keto. He's like, gotta get off of that nonsense diet. You need to eat lots of carbs. You're going to bulk up. I'm like, oh. But it's like they're so stuck in that, and they can't help themselves telling you how you're supposed to eat if you want to muscle up. Now, I understand the science behind getting that insulin spike post-workout to help the muscle grow. I know all the things. But it's like he was treating me as if I was stupid for eating the way I was eating. So maybe at some point, if you like this trainer and she's doing you a good job, you know, keep her. But maybe at some point she becomes more harm than good. Could be worth getting somebody that might be a little more on board with your way of eating.
Yeah, I like her enough that, you know, whether she sees this or not, that I may try to just educate her more so that she can also expand what she's doing, you know, as far as her training, and that she's able to work with people who have different eating styles, because I don't think that was her intention, obviously, but I never communicated to her like, hey, I really can't have this stuff, you know, and here's why I can't have this stuff. I didn't do my part to communicate that to her until much later, when I started working with Mary and started talking a little bit about being insulin resistant and, you know, staying big and round in my midsection. That's where I was really struggling. And that's when I knew, like, I have a large amount of my weight, you know, from like shoulder area down to my hips. Yes. That's where I'm carrying all my weight, you know. So I think I'd rather educate her and get her moving along in her journey too, to know that, you know, when someone comes in and they tell you they're eating a certain way, you don't want to encourage them to have donuts. I'm like, Dave.
Have you experienced the dreaded keto flu? Did you know that most of these symptoms are actually due to your body dumping excess electrolytes? This is where Element comes in. Element is a tasty electrolyte drink mix with everything you need and nothing you don't. That means lots of salt with no sugar. Element is formulated to help anyone with their electrolyte needs and is perfectly suited to folks following a keto, low-carb, or paleo diet. Element contains a science-backed electrolyte ratio, 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium, with none of the junk, no sugar, no coloring, no artificial ingredients, no gluten, no fillers, no BS. Everyone needs electrolytes, especially those on low-carb diets, or if you practice intermittent or extended fasting, if you're physically active, or sweat a lot. Add Element today and see how much better you feel and perform. Use the URL drinklmnt.com/Jimmy.
Yeah, good luck helping someone who is a bodybuild trainer, telling them anything about health in any way. At least that's been my experience. So
sorry.
I did end up hiring somebody at that gym, and he was cool. He never said anything about diet. He saw the way I reacted to and he taught me some good moves, and I still do those today. So it's like, you know, they are good. They're very trained. I just wish they'd keep their mouth shut about diet.
Now, the other day I was talking to her about butter, and she asked me to send her a video about butter, and I had 2 of them pulled up, and I have not done that yet. But, you know, I grew up eating country crock. And it's funny because we were talking about that, and I was like, please tell me that you did not have, I believe it's not butter in your refrigerator. You know why it's called that? Because it's not butter.
Well, look, not butter, and then country crock. See, all along they told us this shit was a crock. Like, we just should have believed them.
So she's definitely interested, and I was like, just get you a real thing of butter. Like, start there. Just get you butter, and it has 1 ingredient in it. It says cream on it, and it might have 2, and then it says sea salt or something, but nothing else.
Yeah, it's amazing to me that a lot of these things that people turn to that are healthier, there are a shitload more like ingredients in them. Like, look at all the fake meat burgers and things that are out there, like 29, 30 something ingredients in them. And then you look at like ground beef, it's beef. That's it. Mm-hmm. That's it. It's beef. And it's like, I thought the one ingredient was better, the mile long ingredient, but not in this case. Yeah, it's so confusing.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I would even get in trouble with like prepackaged stuff that was supposed to be keto. And I'm like, I know how to read labels. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this since Atkins, really. But then I'd pick something up and I go, I can have this because so-and-so's eating this. And I get home and I look at it and I go, wow, I'm really disappointed, but I think I'm going to have this anyway. and I would still eat it, you know?
So Denise, you've been at this a little while, starting with the Atkins diet, dibble-dabbling in keto, and now experimenting with carnivore. What do you think you've learned along the way that's going to make this sustainable for you moving forward?
What have I learned? I've got a good solid foundation now, I feel like, between knowing how I feel when I eat, because initially when I started carnivore, I didn't want to give up onions and garlic. Those were my 2 like go-to vegetables that I needed all the time and everything. And I still weighed them out, but I had them almost every single day. So having a good solid foundation, you know, knowing like how I feel when I eat this versus that's really important. You know, working out.
Keep talking. I can still hear you. I just can't.
Okay. You know, and knowing that I have people to call on, I think that's going to be one of the bigger things for me is when I need somebody, because I'm here to give back to this community and share my journey, because I know I'm not the only one experiencing the things that I've experienced. Knowing the people that I can reach out to, that's going to be important. Building, you know, relationships with people and being honest.
Look, I think honest, even like to a fault. It's something I've tried to do in my own work, because it's like, it does no good to hide what's happening. Why don't you show what is happening, and then you're going to get more respect from people that go, well, damn, good. Finally, I'm not alone. I'm also dealing with that thing. I am doing everything right, and I'm not seeing scale weight move. I'm not seeing muscle build. I'm not seeing this. I'm not seeing that. Like it's so relatable to people, which is why I wanted you on here today, by the way, Denise. Is I knew you would be relatable, that people would love seeing you and hearing your story.